The king of Israel, Ahab, did very abominably in following idols, according to all that the Amori did, whom Yahweh cast out before the children of Israel. But it was when Ahab heard the word of Yahweh against him, that he tore his clothes, and put sackcloth upon his flesh, and fasted, and lay in sackcloth, and went softly. And the word of Yahweh was to Eliyahu the Tishbe, saying,
Seest thou how Ahab humbled himself before me? Because he humbled himself before me, I will not bring the evil in his days, but in his son's days will I bring the evil upon his house.
Of the books called Kings, the first, chapter 22. And they abode 3 years. There was not war between Aram and Israel. But it became in the 3rd year that Jehoshaphat, the king of Yehudah, came down to the king of Israel. And the king of Israel said to his servants, Know ye that Ramoth Galaad is ours, and we are ones being quiet, and take it not out of the hand of the king of Aram. And he said to Jehoshaphat, Wilt thou go with me to battle to Ramoth Galaad? And Jehoshaphat said to the king of Israel, I am as thou art, my people as thy people, my horses as thy horses. And Jehoshaphat said to the king of Israel, Inquire first, I pray thee, for the word of Yahweh. Then the king of Israel gathered the prophets together, about 400 men, and said to them, Shall I go against Ramoth Galaad to battle, or shall I forbear? And they said, Go up, for the Lord will deliver it into the hand of the king. But Jehoshaphat said, Is there not here a prophet of Yahweh besides, that we may inquire of him? And the king of Israel said to Jehoshaphat, There is yet one man by whom we may inquire of Yahweh, Micaiah the son of Yemelah. But I hate him, for he doth not prophesy good concerning me, but evil. And Jehoshaphat said, Let not the king say so. Then the king of Israel called an officer and said, Fetch quickly Micaiah the son of Yemelah. Now the king of Israel and Jehoshaphat the king of Yehudah were sitting each on his throne, arrayed in their robes, in an open place at the entrance of the gate of Shamaron, and all the prophets were prophesying before them. And Zedekiah the son of Kenaanah made him horns of iron, and said, Thus saith Yahweh, With these shalt thou push Aram until they be consumed. And all the prophets prophesied so, saying, Go up to Ramoth Galaad, and prosper, for Yahweh will deliver it into the hand of the king. And the messenger that went to call Micaiah spoke to him, saying, Behold now, the words of the prophets declare good to the king with one mouth. Let thy word, I pray thee, be like the word of one of them, and speak thou good. And Micaiah said, As Yahweh liveth, what Yahweh saith to me, that will I speak. And when he was come to the king said to him, Micaiah, shall we go to Ramoth Galaad to battle, or shall we forbear? And he answered him, Go up and prosper, and Yahweh will deliver it into the hand of the king. And the king said to him, How many times shall I adjure thee that thou speak to me nothing but the truth in the name of Yahweh? And he said, I saw all Yisrael scattered upon the mountains, as sheep that have no shepherd. And Yahweh said,
These have no master. Let them return, every man to his house in peace.
And the king of Yisrael said to Jehoshaphat, Did I not tell thee that he would not prophesy good concerning me, but evil? And Micaiah said, Therefore hear thou the word of Yahweh. I saw Yahweh sitting on his throne, and all the host of the skies standing by him on his right hand and on his left. And Yahweh said,
Who shall entice Ahab, that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Galaad?
And one said on this manner, and another said on that manner. And there came forth a spirit, and stood before Yahweh, and said, I will entice him. And Yahweh said to him,
Wherewith?
And he said, I will go forth, and will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And he said,
Thou shalt entice him, and shalt prevail also. Go forth, and do so.
Now therefore, behold, Yahweh hath put a lying spirit in the mouth of all these thy prophets, and Yahweh hath spoken evil concerning thee. Then Tzidkiyahu the son of Kena'anah came near, and smote Micaiah on the cheek, and said, Which way went the Spirit of Yahweh from me to speak to thee? And Micaiah said, Behold, thou shalt see on that day, when thou shalt go into an inner chamber to hide thyself. And the king of Yisrael said, Take Micaiah and carry him back to Amon the governor of the city, and to Joash the king's son, and say, Thus saith the king, Put this fellow in the prison, and feed him with bread of affliction, and with water of affliction, until I come in peace. And Micaiah said, If thou return at all in peace, Yahweh hath not spoken by me. And he said, Hear ye peoples, all of you. So the king of Yisrael and Jehoshaphat, the king of Yehudah, went up to Ramoth Galaad. And the king of Yisrael said to Jehoshaphat, I will disguise myself and go into the battle, but put thou on thy robes. And the king of Yisrael disguised himself and went into the battle. Now the king of Aram had commanded the 32 captains of his chariots, saying, Fight neither with small nor great, except only with the king of Yisrael. And it was when the captains of the chariots saw Jehoshaphat that they said, Surely it is the king of Yisrael. And they turned aside to fight against him. And Jehoshaphat cried out. And it was when the captains of the chariots saw that it was not the king of Yisrael, that they turned back from pursuing him. And a certain man drew his bow for his simplicity, and smote the king of Yisrael between the joints of the armor. For what reason he said to the driver of his chariot, Turn thy hand, and carry me out of the host, for I am sore wounded. And the battle increased that day, and the king was stayed up in his chariot against Aram, and died at even, and the blood ran out of the wound into the bottom of the chariot. And there went a cry throughout the host about the going down of the sun, saying, Every man to his city, and every man to his country. So the king died, and was brought to Shamron, and they buried the king in Shamron, and they washed the chariot by the pool of Shamron, and the dogs licked up his blood. Now the harlots washed themselves there, according to the word of Yahweh which he spoke. Now the rest of the acts of Ahab, and all that he did, and the ivory house which he built, and all the cities that he built, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel? So Ahab slept with his fathers, and Ahazyahu his son reigned in his stead. And Jehoshaphat the son of Asa began to reign over Yehudah in the 4th year of Ahab king of Israel. Jehoshaphat was 35 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 25 years in Jerusalem, and his mother's name was Azubah, the daughter of Shalahi. And he walked in all the way of Asa his father. He turned not aside from it, doing that which was right in the eyes of Yahweh. Howbeit the high places were not taken away. The people still sacrificed and burnt incense in the high places. And Jehoshaphat made peace with the king of Israel. Now the rest of the acts of Jehoshaphat, and his might that he showed, and how he warred, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Yehudah? And the remnant of the male prostitutes that remained in the days of his father Asa, he put away out of the land. And there was no king in Edom, a deputy was king. Jehoshaphat made ships of Tarshish to go to Ophir for gold, but they went not, for the ships were broken at Rethyon-Gaber. Then said Ahazyahu the son of Ahab to Jehoshaphat, Let my servants go with thy servants in the ships. But Jehoshaphat would not. And Jehoshaphat slept with his fathers, and was buried with his fathers in the city of David his father, and Jehoram his son reigned in his stead. Ahazyahu the son of Ahab began to reign over Israel in Shamron in the 17th year of Jehoshaphat king of Yehudah, and he reigned 2 years over Israel. And he did that which was evil in the sight of Yahweh, and walked in the way of his father, and in the way of his mother, and in the way of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, wherein he made Israel to sin. And he served Baal, and worshipped him, and provoked to anger Yahweh the God of Israel, according to all that his father had done. And Moab rebelled against Israel after the death of Ahab. And Ahazyahu fell down through the lattice in his upper chamber that was in Shamron, and was sick. And he sent messengers, and said to them, Go, inquire of Baal-zebub, the god of Akaron, whether I shall recover of this sickness. But Yahweh's messenger said to Eliah the Tishbe, Arise, go up to meet the messengers of the king of Shamron, and say to them, Is it because there is no God in Israel that ye go to inquire of Baal-zebub, the god of Akaron? Now therefore, thus saith Yahweh,
Thou shalt not come down from the bed whither thou art gone up, but shalt surely die.